Welcome to Adaptive Kids. Today we're going to learn about visual schedules, how and why they can help make morning routines more predictable and happier for families, and how to make one. I'm James Dowton, Australian Paediatric Physiotherapist, here to help you have more everyday success and less stress. Today we'll be discussing how to create and use a visual schedule at home to make life easier for everyone. So what exactly is a visual schedule? A visual schedule is a set of pictures, words, or symbols that help to explain what activities are and the order that they'll be conducted in. It's used to help kids understand what will be happening in the day and when. It can be as simple or as complex as you want to be. The important thing is that every member of the family understands how and what the visual schedule is used for. We use a visual schedule either horizontally or vertically to explain the order of events during the day. Visual schedules can be used at home, in school, in sporting sessions, or in therapy sessions as well. We use them to create an order and understanding what activity is going to be happening and when, which can structure and clarity to the brain. So let's take a closer look at how this can help. Number one, it can reduce anxiety and stress. Kids can often feel anxious and stressed when they don't understand what is happening, why, or when things will be happening. Two, it encourages independence. Visual schedules can encourage to take ownership of our own morning routine and have more control in when and how they act. By following a visual schedule, children can learn to complete tasks independently, without many verbal prompts or cues from parents and teachers. This can reduce their stress and help to have more focus in their daily routines. Number three, it helps to promote time and organisational skills. Executive function skills such as planning, organising and prioritising can be particularly challenging for children with autism spectrum disorder or other neurodevelopmental conditions. Having a visual schedule can provide them a little bit of support to be able to better organise their brain and their day. Some children can struggle with remembering the order that a task needs to be completed in, the steps involved, or the stages. By following a routine and clear visual schedule, they can better learn the stages and steps involved. With repetition and practice, this becomes a lot easier over time. Number four, it can also help improve communication skills. Visual schedules can also improve communication between adults and kids. For some kids who may have language delays, a visual schedule can help them to communicate how and what they have done and what steps they need to do for the rest of the morning. This can help to ensure that everyone's on the same page, reduce miscommunication, and make things clearer for everyone to understand. Children can have challenges organising all the events and activities within a given day. A visual schedule can help provide clarity of what will be happening, when, and why. Mornings with clear routine and common reference point can help to make the brain calm in what can often be an overwhelming time, with a lot of time, pressures, and external factors. A study published in the Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders found that children with autism spectrum disorder who used a visual schedule in the morning had more calm, less stress, better time management skills, and improved their executive functioning, and being more engaged in activities both in the morning and during the day than those who did not. Similarly, visual schedules can be helpful for children with ADHD who have challenges with time management skills and organisational skills. Children feel more secure and they know what they're expecting to come next and anticipating what the next activity or transition will be. It can also reduce frustration and anxiety by making it clear what's expected of a child in terms of their morning or school routine. Children who need additional support, visual schedules are also a great way of breaking tasks down to smaller steps that can be more manageable and over time built into bigger steps and stages. Children take time to manage and understand multiple steps and instructions, particularly within a large or new activity. A visual schedule can break down this activity into its parts to make it more achievable and have more success. For example, for one child, their main goal may be learning to brush their teeth. So this may be the only activity on the visual schedule, and that's okay. For one child, a symbol or a toothbrush may be enough of a prompt to complete this activity. For other children who may need more time to learn the steps and stages involved, we can break this down even further. The first symbol, we could use simply a toothbrush. And make sure it is the toothbrush that the child's using. If they've got a red toothbrush, make sure the symbol or the picture is red so it's clear and understood what's expected. Next, we may have a symbol of the toothpaste, and then a symbol of toothpaste on the toothbrush, followed by a symbol of water on the toothbrush, and then we have the brushing of the teeth themselves. For some children who need more time management skills, we can also have a timer set up for how long to brush their teeth so they can have this consistency. Over time, as children's skills improve, we may reduce the amount of steps involved, have less images as their skills and executive functioning improves. The next step is to understand how can we make a visual schedule. Firstly, we need to work with the child and identify what activities in the morning are important to be completed. This can include having a shower, getting dressed, or making our lunch. It can be any activity that's important in your morning routine. We then have a list of all the activities that need to be completed in the morning and can identify which ones are most important to include. Next, we need to work out the order of these activities. For example, getting dressed may come before having breakfast, packing our backpack may come before putting our shoes on. This can be different for every family and it can also change over time. So it's important to have clear communication about how and when we use our visual schedule. There are many different formats that can be used, so make sure to pick one that's right for your child. Using simple pictures or symbols to represent each activity, words written out in plain, simple language. Personally, I find a combination of words and symbols works best and can help to improve our language and comprehension skills. And now it's time to make our visual schedule. We need to take a picture or make a symbol that represents each activity. These can be printed or drawn by hand. It can be nice to make this together for child to give them a sense of control and understanding of what is their visual schedule and what it represents. It's important to understand this schedule is for a family. It's important that every member understands what each symbol is and how to interpret it. For some, a colour coding system can work really well. We use different types of colours to represent different types of activities. For example, self-care activities may represent it in green. This can include toileting or showering. We then place all our symbols on a visual board, have them in order, and it's important that we then review this with the child to make sure we understand each step involved and when and why to do it. Walk them through each task and let's explain together what needs to be done. And encourage them to ask questions if they're unsure about anything. I find this can work really well on a weekend when a day isn't as busy and you have more time to go through each activity and step involved. There are a few things to keep in mind when using a visual schedule for a child. It's important to place the schedule somewhere that we can see it and also access it. And as we go through activities, we can tick them off as we go and have an easily accessible common reference point. This can be on a wall, a bulletin board or a fridge, as long as the height is appropriate for everyone. We need a way to indicate that our activities have been completed. This can be a marker or a whiteboard to tick them off, or we may take a picture symbol and put that next to our other symbol to indicate it's been completed. It can be really beneficial to review this visual schedule the night before or the morning of, so that we have a clear understanding of what's expected to be completed. And it's really important to use consistent language when explaining the visual schedule or the activities involved to reduce confusion. For example, instead of saying it's time to eat, maybe let's say it's time to eat breakfast. The kids have difficulty with understanding language. We can be much clearer in terms of what is expected. It's also important to understand to be flexible as things can change, and so can our visual schedules, whether this be different times per year, during different activity times, or we can even have a special section for special days, so there'll be something that's quite outside our routine occurring. And consistency is key. It's important that we use our visual schedule every day, and it may not be easy at start. We may need to take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Everyone's going to be different in terms of their learning and their understanding. But if we trust the process, have consistency, and we can see really great results in making better morning for everyone in the family. And while visual schedules are great, we don't want to be too complex or too overwhelming. We need to find an amount that's right for each child. So start with a few basic activities that you know that they can do and they can do well, and they can practice making sure that these are getting done every day. We can add more activities as we become more familiar with our routine and our executive functioning and planning skills improve. For example, it can be, let's just make sure that every morning we have a drink of water, or every morning we brush our teeth. And we can slowly, over time, build up the amount or type of activities that we need to complete. For example, we may want to work on packing our bag, but sometimes packing our bag can be a really broad or vague statement. So let's have the activities or the steps involved included. This can include, let's find our pencil case, our drink bottle, our hat, and any other items that we may need to include. It's important to remember a visual schedule is just a tool that we use to support our child. It's not supposed to be used to control behaviour. It's important to celebrate success and milestones for a child, because being able to improve our time management and organisational skills is important for life, and we should be really happy when we are building this up. Apps that allow parents to create and customise visual schedules include ChoiceWorks and First Then Visual Schedule. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to Adaptive Kids. It does help to reach more families to be able to have better success and less stress. And make sure to follow along for more tips, advice, education, as well as our free kids workouts. As always, thanks for listening. I'm James Dowton, Australian Paediatric Physiotherapist, and I'll catch you on the next one.